Nickelback. All the right reasons. 11 tracks, 41 minutes. The fifth studio album from the Canadian rock band, released October 2005 via Roadrunner and EMI Records, produced by the band and Joey Moy. Recorded at Mountain View Studios in British Columbia. 7 singles were released in Photograph, Animals, Saving Me, Fire Away, Rockstar, Everyone Cared, and Side of a Bullet. This album was a massive success, peaking number 1 in the US, number 2 in the UK and Australia, while doing quite well worldwide, eventually going diamond in the US, 7 times platinum in Canada, 4 times platinum in Australia and New Zealand, 2 times platinum in the UK, 3 times gold in Germany, as well as gold in Austria, Denmark, Netherlands and Switzerland, having sold over 12 million copies worldwide and spent 110 weeks in the US top 30. The first to do so for over 100 weeks since Shania Twain's Come On Over, as well as recharting in different regions, setting higher peaks than before on the back of later singles. Go for it.
This is the band at its peak, if you ask me. Like, they're capitalising on Silver Side Up and just taking it to another level. They haven't commercialised fully yet. They're just still doing very heavy rock.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why this band gets the shit that it does.
No, I don't understand it either.
It's a fucking good album, this. Mm-hmm. The production is A1. Mm-hmm. Like, I hadn't listened to it as a full album since I probably got it. Like, I thrashed it for a couple of months and I parked it. And you hear the odd song every now and again. But to go back and listen to it, like, it's a borderline metal album. Yeah. And I don't know, I still don't understand how people shit can it. Like, to be honest with you, if you're judging a band on its singles, they're singles for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Generally, the singles are not the best stuff. It's the most accessible stuff. Yeah. Like, I think Photograph is photo crap. Yeah, it is exactly what it is. You know, and Rockstar wasn't a great song, but you listen to some of the songs like Follow You Home for all the wrong reasons, Animals, Nest Contestant, Side of a Bullet. Yeah, that's Metallica. Mm-hmm. That's Black Album Metallica. Written all. You know, I don't get it. Production is punchy, clean. Chad sounds phenomenal in his vocal approach here. This is where the band, I wish they didn't try to worry about, okay, we're on radio, how do we stay on radio? Because after that, it went a little bit downhill after that, and they started becoming
stuff later on, but not as good as this.
Not as good, but you can hear they took the Bon Jovi approach as, like, how do we stay on radio? Yeah. If you start thinking with that mentality, you curb all your good writing and your creativity, and you start pigeonholing yourself. Yeah. This band didn't need to do it. They had all the hooks. They could be as heavy as they wanted, and it just worked. I mean, look at the sales. Mm-hmm. The sales are there. I named my favourites before, but I gave it an 8 out of 10. I only took 2 points off because of the 2 singles, which I thought they're throwaway songs, but it's a fucking good album, and I just don't understand the hate for this band. Yeah. I've seen them a couple of times live. They're just as good. Yeah. Fantastic. I saw them on the Here and Now tour, what was that, 5 years ago? Brutal. Yeah. Just fucking good stadium rock band, you know?
Cool.
Yeah, nice. I like it.
Cool. I like Nickelback. They're a good band. I do own the CD for Silver Side Up, but after the success of the How Do You Remind Me single, their singles were very similar afterwards. They just, like you were saying, they played it safe. I am not a fan of the song Photograph at all. Hearing the single actually put me off the band, which is a shame, because after hearing their newest album and now this album, it's obvious there's a lot more to them than just their singles. But this is my first time listening to this album.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Simply because that song, Photograph, shit me. There are some heavy riffs, there are some softer songs, and Chad Kroeger is a great storyteller. His lyrics could be overlooked because it's very easily consumed rock, so not really something that you focus on the lyrics, but you spend some time with him, and there's a lot of substance behind them. I gave this 8 out of 10. Fight for All the Wrong Reasons, Animals, and Side of a Bullet.
Yeah, so this is... There's 2 halves to every Nickelback album. Now, the first half is the radio half, which is very radio friendly pop music. To be fair, the whole album's not. Don't get the wrong idea. It's not pushing too many boundaries, but it is
it's accessible.
Yeah, it's accessible. The singles that everybody knows, I really hate those songs. To be honest, I could not stand it. It's for this. It's that kind of, you know, style of alternative metal that would hear from the Seven Dusts and your Salivas and whatnot of the same genre, or the same era, sorry, but watered down to radio level. For mine, I wasn't a fan of those tracks. The other tracks, they do have that kind of alternative metal feel to it. For mine, it's not quite hitting the mark, but they're not as bad as what everybody says they are, and I think I really why they get so much hate, you know, whether it's against some of the singles or it's cool to hate them, or, you know, one of the criticisms I've heard is it's overly perfect, which, you know, I can kind of understand that you get from a pop record, but, you know, overall it's not bad. I gave it a 5 out of 10. It's really not my thing, and I've heard all this before, but for it's, you know, for Nickelback, people expect a 0, and it's not that.
Okay. Nicky made me buy this album during the great Nickelback Danzig debate of 2017. This one starts really strongly. Yeah. Opening track is an absolute pisser. I remember listening to it for the first time thinking, okay, maybe all these people defending Nickelback are right, because I never really gave them a chance. No, they're not right. It doesn't take long for the Nickelback to fucking rear his fucking paddle pump line fucking head. And that all starts with Photograph that makes bad Kiss lyrics look like fucking literature.
Okay.
Next contestant must have been written on crayon on fucking paper without corners on it because no one wanted to cut themselves. It's that fucking horrible and shitty. Nickelback have a formula. It's a good formula. I get it. People like it. People listen to it. It doesn't test any boundaries, and it makes you think you're actually listening to rock music. You're not. You listen to pop music. It's cookie cutter and it's fucking paint by numbers. The slow tracks on every album I've ever heard is the same fucking song. Exactly the same formula, and it shits me to tears. Undeniable talent in the band. I believe live they are outstanding and really put on a good show. Because they've got their thing, they stick to it, they do it very well, and hats off to them to that. Like I said, they're not so shit that you can just put a line to them and say they're fucking awful, but it's pop
But it's
music.
no different to what AC/DC had done for 30 years.
Yes, it is. It's very different to what AC/DC have done.
How?
There we go.
I think it's
It's
just
Edge versus
They've
absolutely
got a
nothing.
formula and never
It's-
fucking deviated from
I think it's
it.
just up to taste at that point, because like
Possibly.
there's the AC/DC have released the same album for.
Yeah, and
40
Photograph
fucking
wasn't
years.
on any of those albums. Let me make that point. Anyway, I also gave it a 5 out of 10 for the exact same reason you did. It's not as awful as everyone makes out, but it's nothing special. Follow your home, animals, fight for all the wrong reasons.
Well, as far as rock records go, this is one of the most successful of all time. People love or hate this band, but everyone out there wishes they had this level of success while they hate this band.
Fuck yes.
I
I wish I'd written Photograph. Let me say
I will happily go into bat for this band. Not everything they've done is stellar. After this, there's a couple of albums where you're thinking, yeah, it's hard to defend that one. But this album, before this one, I think even the next one afterward, were all pretty fucking good ones. This album is fantastic. I love spinning this one. I know this will cop some flack out there, and that's awesome. Bring it on as far as I'm concerned. But this is a fun, well-crafted listen. There's a big reason why this album did so well. And yes, you're going to talk about fucking commercial and accessibility and the fucking ballads and whatever else, but it fucking cut through. And you can hate a band for doing that, but fuck, these were good songs. They wouldn't cut through if they were shit.
Limp Bizkit cut through.
Yeah, says the law.
snap. Sick burn.
And I'll pay that. I'll pay that. But I just think that this guy doesn't whine like a bitch.
Yeah. Well, whining like a bitch was fun back then.
Because he's taking it in his chocolate
Oh,
starfish.
okay, here we go. Now, I think you can bag this band as much as you like, but they can fucking perform. They nail these songs, great drummers, great guitar work, vocals, bass, they all nail their parts, and they serve the songs fully. The little guest spots from people add their bits to this nicely. Worth noting that Rock Royalty and Billy Gibbons and Dimebag Darrell both appear on this record. These songs are so well written, crafted to the nth degree, which is going to shit a lot of people, and I understand that, but they are so well honed. Hooks for days, big ballsy riffs, pounding drums, great melodies, fantastic use of space as well. There is fun, heart, aggression, stupidity, everything is here. These songs and album take you through a wide range of emotion if you let it, if you get past the name of the band. So you like, but these boys can fucking write. Same applies to lyrics. You get the corny love songs and all that sort of stuff. You get the hit radio tracks, but they wouldn't go anywhere near as well as they did if they were shit. And that isn't. And if that is nothing, go through lyrics of Side of a Bullet. That is one fucking intense piece of music. Mm-hmm. These guys have something to say and they do it well. There's a message and story in every song, serious or otherwise. Production's impressive. It's a little bit crunched if you pay attention too closely to it, but it doesn't detract from the listen kind of thing. It's only if you start to really get into it.
There's nearly every second rock band with one production like that.
This, yeah. And at the same time, during the era this came out, this suffers a lot less from that than a lot of the other albums at the same time did. Some good use of depth and space, not a lot of tricks, it's just fantastic layering of the tracks. The band didn't do anything on this record they couldn't pull off live, and that's points to them as far as I'm concerned. It's perfectly mixed. I love the tones on this, heavy but still warm, and just the right amount of sparkle at the right time. Album craft. Now, whether you love or hate these songs, the album craft is bang on. They have got 100%. The track order correct. You've got your heavy stuff, you've got your softs, but this is how you do it. This is how you balance an album for the 45 to 55 minutes that you're going to go through. You got 7 singles out of 11 tracks on this, but there is a mix of ballads and rockets. They got the track order nailed. You aren't bored. Time flies by. It's got great diversity. When I talk about peaks and troughs in an album, this is an album that I think about when I think of that. No two tracks are too much alike, despite what other people might think, and they are all placed to keep your attention locked in on the record. And there's just that right amount of tongue-in-cheek. They know that they're taking the piss with songs like Rockstar. They fully are aware of it, and that's what makes it fun for me, because they know it, and you know they know it. You've got tracks like that, that's the tongue-in-cheek stuff. Then you've got throwbacks to your youth, like with tracks like Someone You're With and Animals. Animals is the fucking perfect, like, just got my license and got a girlfriend song. That is the perfect song for that. Heartfelt switches, things like Photograph and If Everyone Cared, Saving Me. And some serious aggression, real pissed off songs like Side of Bullet and Next Contestant, which also play off society in an interesting way at the time as well. This is pretty much one of the consummate modern rock records, as far as I'm concerned. It must really, really, really stick in the craw of all the fucking diehard metalheads out there that this band had 2 of the closest people to Dimebag send through the track that was used on Side of a Bullet. And then Vinnie Paul was asked to play on the album, and he deferred, saying that the drummer Daniel Adair did it as well as he could have done on the track as well. So they have Pantera blessing that song. And I want to hear how much that pisses off metalheads, so I reckon that's fucking fantastic. If you hate this band, you are missing out. Not everything they've done is fantastic, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say everything they've done is fucking great, but this album is fantastic. There's a lot more to this than what you've heard on the radio, and it's funny how the people that bash this band are usually the first ones to bash commercial radio at the same time, so kind of rethink your reasoning for why you're bashing a band that you're hearing on commercial radio. Explore this band further, it's worth it. I gave it a 10 out of 10. Yep. Animals, Side of a Bullet, Photograph, Fire Away, Rockstar, but there are no dud tracks on this album at all. No, there's not. Check it out for yourselves and let us know what you think, fuckers.
I thought you'd rate it positively, but not a 10.
Jesus!
Side of a Bullet was with the part 2.
It's a photograph! It's a picture of a fucking giraffe!
Never again's a fucking song.
I think it's just fine, like the Nickelback Limp Bizkit thing, I think it's just because it's exactly the same thing, just different takes.
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
True.
It's interesting, because Nickelback really gets up my fucking nose, as Limp Bizkit obviously really gets up your nose. Yeah,
but the thing is,
that's the type of rock I'd rather hear on radio than a lot what they call rock.
Yeah,
in the last 10 or 15 years, I'd rather hear this.
I'd rather hear that than Vance Joy.
You know,
but you know, I wouldn't give Vance Joy a 5
and all these bullshit fucking bands. Fuck that.
Yeah. Anywho,
all right, let's wrap it up. Do a bin and close it out.
Cool.
All right.